Hi friends, this is Suzy, your gaming guru. It is July 9th, 2022. I'm here for my Wordle of the day, but mostly here for George Washington Carver Day. I'm here for Carver Day, so if you just want to see Wordle advance, because I think I might gush a bit, I'm just so enthralled with this man. And I'm the kind of person who, when there's a sad movie that has a happy ending, I don't cry during the sad parts. I wait until there's resolution and then I just burst forth. So I happy rain, my husband calls it. And the reason I'm so late in doing my Wordle is because I was just learning again about George Washington Carver and just crying through it because I was so impressed and just had so much respect for this man. There has been a criticism leveled that people like me who grew up in white communities I was born in the late 60s, and, there's this criticism that we only ever learned about George Washington Carver, and that's why there is now Black History Month. And, that criticism is somewhat valid. There were a few other people we learned about, of course, Martin Luther King Jr. being one. But, yeah, it was very limited who we learned about. But I will tell you that if it wasn't done with animus, picking certain people to talk about was done with the most respect, because George Washington Carver really cemented within me and people like me the value of a person regardless of skin color. I would say that if aliens came to visit and they wanted a representation of humanity, we should tell them about George Washington Carver. Such an amazing man with an indomitable spirit, struggled because he was born into slavery. Slavery ended shortly after he was born, but then he was kidnapped by slavers from his home in Missouri and taken to Arkansas. And his the family that had owned his mother traded their best horse to bring him back. His mother and sister, kidnapped with him, supposedly had died, but they brought back this very sickly boy with whooping cough, 2 years old, and the Carvers didn't turn him out because he was no use. They cared for him and nurtured him and treated him as their own. And even though they expected him to die, everyone expected him to die, but he wouldn't. He just kept learning and growing and adventuring out, and wanted to enter a college and was accepted until they learned that the color of his skin was darker than mine, and so he wasn't admitted. And that didn't stop him. He went on and he moved and went to places where he could find an education. And sometimes he says that he lived on prayer and beef suet and cornmeal alone, and sometimes without the suet and the meal, until he made it. And and that didn't break him. It didn't make him greedy, and it didn't make him bitter. It made him determined to be compassionate to other people and to be generous. So, yeah, I'm thrilled and enthralled. Sorry, I just go to this George Washington Carver National Monument in Missouri, this website, and learn about it. I want to go to the monument itself, but until then, spend some time here if you are so inclined. I haven't even yet watched Struggle and Triumph, The Legacy of George Washington Carver. I plan to do that, but I read all about him from his own words. Just intriguing and inspiring. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep going. I could just cancel everything and start over and say 5 sentences, and I'm not going to do it. All right, so our Wordle of the day. I think that I'm going to do the word plant because he was so essential to the health and success of the United States by teaching about crop rotation, and it's because his pets when he was growing up were plants, and he nurtured them. And that actually didn't turn out too poorly here. We've got an A and a T. So what can we combine with that? We've already used an L. What about, we want an S probably, and maybe an R. Maybe we want to use the A and the T. Oh, and what about an E? What about stare? Well, that would put the A right there. And I don't think S-T-E-A-R is a word. Steer, like animals, are S-T-E-E-R, right? I just have to check. Oops, hello. That is not how it meant to be. I just have to check and see if this is a word because I don't know. Oh! Okay, it is a word. Now I'm feeling really stupid because it's probably something I should know. Because there's stare, S-T-A-I-R, and S-T-A-R-E, and S-T-E-E-R. Okay, there's also S-T-E-A-R. I need to learn. Okay, and look at that. What could that be? It could be a lot of things, I think. Let's find out what it could be. Okay. Yeah, S-T-E-A, those are common letters. So I have the feeling that other people are going to do just as well as I am here. Let's see. It could be stead. It could be steak. It could be steam. That's all that I see. The cats are racing around like crazy and the laundry is done. A lot of activities going on behind me. Let's see. Anything else that it could be? Stead. I don't think there's steef, but hey, I didn't know that there was steer spelled this way. H-J-K could be steak. Okay. Wow, I did not expect to be this far this quickly. So these are the 3 letters that we think are probably in there, right? So I think I'm going to try the word, oh, I was going to do murky. That doesn't use a D. Let's just do, I don't know of any that use those 3. I keep coming up with some and then they skip one of these letters. Well, that might be okay because then if it's excluded, then we know. I kind of want it to be stead because I think that fits in with George Washington Carver, but I kind of think it's steam. Okay, let's see. Let's do, and I'm not going to try 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try 1. If I tried any, it would be steam. And so then if it's steam and I'm not trying that right away, you guys can yell at me. But that's okay. I don't mind spending an extra turn just to define things here. So, oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Yeah, when you hear a cat puking, you just have to run quickly. Sorry about that. I know, I share way too much personal information. So, everything I want to do would end in a D, like masked. But then it becomes 6 letters. And I don't think anything like maked is a word. Let's try. Let's see. If we do maked, and then let's just change the vowels in here. Mic'd. Oh, mic'd. I bet mic'd is a word. And it's D. So we know it is stead, which is just beautiful for George Washington Carver, who had a stead, a place where he could plant. All right. That is it for me. And I have learned so much today and yesterday, so I'm thrilled. That's what I love about this game. If you have any questions or comments, please put those below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.